Hi future officers, a warm welcome to all of you in the today's session on EduTap. So my dear friends, I hope that all of you are really preparing well for your upcoming exams. And once again, I would like to welcome to the CT360 series session in which we cover the most important G and ESI current affairs from the exam point of view. So guys, we all know that in these sessions, we cover the most important G and ESI current affairs. And I hope that all of you have really revised everything that we have covered in the previous sessions, and today I am going to discuss the important current affairs from 1st to 3rd of January 2025. If you are someone who is preparing for RBI, NABARD and SEBI, then this session is going to be very helpful for all of you. And in fact, if you are preparing for any other government exam, then guys, again current affairs plays a very important role, and for those exams as well, this session is going to be very helpful for your exam preparation. Now guys, when I talk about the today's session, so today we are going to cover these topics that are presented here, which includes some data on the FAME2 scheme, the revision of wholesale price index, then we are having BankNet, CEO of UIDAI and other important news articles. So शुरू करते हैं आज के सेशन को with the very important news article, that is the data on the FAME2 scheme which has been recently announced by the government of India. And recently government has announced that 16.15 lakh electric vehicles have been incentivized under the FAME2 scheme. So guys, we all know, to give greater emphasis on the providing affordable and environment friendly public transportation options for the masses, government of India takes so many steps, and as a part of one of those initiatives, it is the faster adoption and manufacturing of hybrid and electric vehicles in India, that is the FAME scheme. So guys, FAME scheme was been launched by the government, and it was really a very great step to basically enhancing the electric mobility in our country. And under this particular scheme, a total of 16.15 lakh electric vehicles have been incentivized till now, which includes 14.27 lakh electric two-wheelers, 1.59 lakh electric three-wheelers, 22,548 electric four-wheelers and 5,131 e-buses. So guys, here from this part, you are only required to remember about this particular data, that 16.15 lakh electric vehicles have been incentivized till now. If I talk about the FAME India scheme, guys, so it was launched by the government to promote electric mobility through demand incentives for electric vehicles, right? So when we talk about the first phase of this particular scheme, it was basically launched for a period of 2 years from 1st of April 2015. And when we saw that this particular scheme is really doing a great work in promoting the electric mobility in our country, Government of India come up with the second phase of the scheme, which was launched in year 2019. And it was launched with a total financial outlay of 11,500 crore rupees. And guys, when I talk about the latest data, so as of 31st of October 2024 till 31st of October 2024, a total of rupees 8,844 crore has been spent on this particular scheme. Okay? So as of now till 31st October 2024, rupees 8,844 crore has been spent. So you can see here, and that with the help of this particular amount, we were able to incentivize 16.15 lakh electric vehicles till now under this FAME scheme. So guys, याद रखिए FAME scheme का full form क्या है. FAME scheme को 2015 के अंदर लॉन्च किया गया था, इसका सेकेंड फेज 2019 के अंदर लॉन्च हुआ था, and till now 16.15 lakh electric vehicles have been incentivized under this particular scheme. ठीक है जी, I hope this point is clear to all of you. Now let's move on to the next important news article. So guys, the next news article is about the revision of the current series of wholesale price index. So guys, we all know about the wholesale price index, right? So wholesale price index basically measures the average change in the prices of good at the wholesale level. तो होलसेल लेवल पे जो भी एवरेज चेंज आता है प्राइसेस ऑफ गुड्स में, सी गाइस हम सभी देखते हैं कि जो बड़े बड़े बिजनेसेस हैं वो आपस में ट्रेडिंग करते हैं गुड्स की, राइट? तो उस लेवल पे क्या चेंज आया है प्राइस के अंदर, दैट इज बेसिकली बीन कवर्ड अंडर द होलसेल प्राइस इंडेक्स. ठीक है? सो इट ट्रैक्स द प्राइसेस ऑफ कमोडिटीज व्हिच इज बीन ट्रेडेड बिटवीन द बिजनेसेस व्हिच इंक्लूड्स मैन्युफैक्चरर्स, द होलसेलर्स, rather than those which are sold directly to the consumers like you and me. And guys, when we talk about the wholesale price index, it basically focuses on three categories of goods. So I will be discussing that as well. But before that, let us cover the important part, that the government of India is basically aiming to change the base year of calculating wholesale price index from 2011-12 to 2022-2023. So basically right now the base year that we use is 2011-12 और इसको हम adopt करेंगे, इसको हम transform करेंगे to 2022-23. तो इसी के लिए एक working group को constitute किया है government of India ने, and this working group will comprise of total of 18 members. And this group has been formed under the chairmanship of Professor Ramesh Chand, who is also the member of Niti Aayog. So this Professor Ramesh Chand will be serving as the chairman of this working group, which has been constituted by the government of India. And this working group is expected to submit its final report within 18 months to the Office of the Economic Advisor, and Office of Economic Advisor is basically responsible for issuing the wholesale price index. ठीक है, तो इसके बारे में हम थोड़ी सी और डिटेल्स को कवर कर लेते हैं यहाँ पे. सो अगर हम बात करते हैं टर्म्स ऑफ रेफरेंस की कि क्या एग्जैक्टली ये वर्किंग ग्रुप करने वाला है. सो गाइस बेसिकली दिस वर्किंग ग्रुप विल बी working and it will be identifying the new commodities in the basket. So we all know that there are some kind of commodities which are there in the wholesale price index basket, right? So उसके अंदर हमें क्या अपडेट करने की जरूरत है. सो वी विल बी डिसाइडिंग ऑन द लिस्ट ऑफ गुड्स विच आर रिक्वायर्ड टू बी इंक्लूडेड इन द WPI एज वेल एज इन द प्रोड्यूसर प्राइस इंडेक्स फॉर द न्यू बेस ईयर. सो ये जो 2022-23 वाला बेस ईयर है उसमें आपका प्रोड्यूसर प्राइस इंडेक्स रहेगा. सो हमारे इकोनॉमी के अंदर जो भी चेंजेस हो रहे हैं, गिवन प्रोवाइडेड ऑल द स्ट्रक्चरल चेंजेस विच आर हैपनिंग टू द इंडियन इकोनॉमी, वी विल बी working and we will be deciding on this updated list of commodity baskets. After that we will be working on price correction system, right? So the price collection system which are existing, so we will review them and we will see what improvements can be made on this particular price collection system. Then we will also be this working group will be working on the methodology as well, that the way we basically the methods that we use to calculate the wholesale price index. So what exactly is required to be covered, we will be finalizing the formulas and the methods for calculating the WPI and PPI. Apart from that, as we are aiming to transition from WPI to PPI, so that's why all the approved methods will be reviewed so that we can see whether we can use the same for compiling the PPI or not. Then improvements will be suggested on the same and we will plan a transition from WPI to PPI. So everything will be done by the working group under the chairmanship of Professor Ramesh Chand. I hope this point is clear to all of you guys. So a very important news article for all of you that we need to remember from the exam point of view. Now let's try to cover some basic details as well. So wholesale price index guys, अगर हम बात करते हैं जो present base year है, that is of 2011-12, तो पहले 2004-5 होता था बेस ईयर, उसके बाद उसको चेंज किया गया अप्रैल 2017 के अंदर एज 2011-12, एंड नाउ वी आर in the transition and we are working in order to transition from 2011-12 to 2022-2023. So very important thing that we should remember here. Now guys, when we talk about the wholesale price index, I have already told you that it measures a change in the prices of goods sold and traded in bulk by wholesale businesses to the other businesses, right? It is published by Office of Economic Advisor and generally अगर हम बात करें तो wholesale price index को हम basically consider करते हैं as a GDP deflator. GDP deflator क्या है? It is basically an economic measure. It is a kind of economic measure which reflects overall price level of all the goods and services. जो हमारे पूरी goods and services हैं जो एक economy के अंदर produce की जाती हैं, उसका overall price level क्या है, ये चीज हम और डिनोट करते हैं विद द हेल्प ऑफ जीडीपी डिफ्लेटर. और WPI को बेसिकली प्राइमरीली यूज किया जाता है एज अ जीडीपी डिफ्लेटर, ठीक है. और इसके अंदर आप देख सकते हैं बेसिकली अगर हम वेटेजेस देखें, इट इंक्लूड्स प्राइमरी आर्टिकल्स, फ्यूल एंड पावर, मैन्युफैक्चर्ड प्रोडक्ट्स एंड द फूड इंडेक्स. सो दीज आर बेसिकली देयर अंडर द होलसेल प्राइस इंडेक्स. सो गाइज आई होप कि ये डिटेल्स आपको एकदम क्लियर हैं और जो नया बेस ईयर होगा दैट विल बी 22-23, बट only after the recommendation of this particular working group which has been created under the chairmanship of Professor Ramesh Chand. I hope this point is clear to all of you. Now guys, let's move on to the next news article that is on the Bankit e-auction portal. So guys, Banknet is basically a kind of e-auction portal which is being run by the public sector bank alliances. ठीक है. सो सभी पब्लिक सेक्टर बैंक्स ने मिलकर एक अलायंस बनाया है एंड दे टुगेदर ऑपरेट द Banknet which is a bank asset auction network. तो ये बैंक असेट ऑक्शन नेटवर्क एक तरीके का ऑक्शन पोर्टल है जिसको ऑपरेट किया जाता है, और ये सारी की सारी ई ऑक्शन प्रॉपर्टीज जो हैं, पब्लिक सेक्टर बैंक्स की जितनी भी प्रॉपर्टीज हैं, उनको इस पर लिस्ट किया जाता है, और जो भी ऑक्शनिंग का प्रोसेस होता है वो इस पोर्टल के जरिए किया जा सकता है। ठीक है, सो दिस अ रिवैम्प्ड वर्जन ऑफ दिस पोर्टल हैज बीन रिसेंटली लॉन्च्ड, एंड दिस पोर्टल कंसोलिडेट्स इंफॉर्मेशन ऑन द ई ऑक्शन प्रॉपर्टीज फ्रॉम ऑल द पब्लिक सेक्टर बैंक्स, एंड इट ऑफर्स वन स्टॉप डेस्टिनेशन फॉर बायर्स एंड इन्वेस्टर्स। तो जो भी बायर्स हैं, जो इन्वेस्टर्स हैं और इंटरेस्टेड इन परचेजिंग दीज प्रॉपर्टीज विच आर अंडर द ऑक्शन by the public sector banks, so they can basically gather all the important information regarding all of them, and they can discover a wide range of assets, that which kind of assets are available for the auction, and what are the prices to the same. And this includes different types of assets of the public sector banks, which includes flats, independent houses, open plots. It also includes commercial properties, industrial land, and the buildings, shops, vehicles, plant and machinery. So all these are the part of the BankNet e-auction portal. नाम याद रखिए, इट स्टैंड फॉर बैंक असेट ऑक्शन नेटवर्क। ठीक है, वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट पॉइंट। अगर हम बात करें इस नए पोर्टल की, सो इट विल बी equipped with improved and enhanced features, as it will provide frictionless user journeys as on a one-stop platform. These buyers and investors will be able to reach out all the details of these particular properties which are there under the auction. ठीक है, it will have automated and integrated payment gateway and the KYC tools. The dashboard will also feature a spend analytics for the buyers and investors. I hope this is clear to all of you guys. So, and hence this particular platform is expected to enhance the overall economic environment by unlocking the value of distressed assets. जो distressed assets हैं banks के, जिनको वो e-auction पर लगाते हैं। ठीक है, I hope this is clear to all of you. So it is going to simplify all the processes of finding and participating in the property e-auctions, and hence will make it easier for the buyers and investors to participate in this e-auctioning processes. So I hope that this portal is very much clear to all of you. We have discussed this in quite a very detailed manner. Let's move on to the next news article, and that is Bhuvnesh Kumar has been appointed as the new Chief Executive Officer, the Chief Executive Officer of the Unique Identification Authority of India, UIDAI. UIDAI की बात करें guys, तो एक स्टैट्यूटरी अथॉरिटी है जिसको मिनिस्ट्री ऑफ इलेक्ट्रॉनिक्स एंड इंफॉर्मेशन टेक्नोलॉजी के अंडर एस्टैब्लिश किया गया था, एंड इट वाज बेसिकली क्रिएटेड टू इशू द आधार कार्ड्स, राइट, जो कि यूनिक आइडेंटिफिकेशन नंबर है विच इज बीन गिवन टू ऑल द रेजिडेंट्स ऑफ इंडिया. So these are called Aadhaar cards, and these Aadhaar numbers are being given by the Unique Identification Authority of India, right? And as of 29 September, the authority has generated 138.08 crore Aadhaar numbers to the residents of India. And under the Aadhaar Act 2016, UIDAI is basically responsible for Aadhaar enrollment. तो आधार से रिलेटेड जो भी प्रोसेस है उसकी जो पूरी की पूरी साइकिल है, उसके लिए कौन सी ऑर्गेनाइजेशन रिस्पॉन्सिबल है? यूनिक आइडेंटिफिकेशन अथॉरिटी ऑफ इंडिया. ठीक है, बेशक चाहे बात आधार एनरोलमेंट की है, ऑथेंटिकेशन की है, पॉलिसी डेवलप करना है, प्रोसीजर्स को बनाना है, सिस्टम बनाना है फॉर इशूइंग आधार numbers, or we want to perform authentication or security of the identity information. So everything will be taken care of by the Unique Identification Authority of India only. I hope this point is clear to all of you. So naam yaad rakhiye, Bhuvnesh Kumar, who has assumed charge as the Chief Executive Officer of UIDAI. Moving to the next news article, guys. So recently, on 31st of December, Ministry of Defense has conducted a meet, and during that particular meet, they have declared that in 2025, we will be considering the year 2025 as year of reforms, and this year of reform will be aiming to transform the Indian Armed Forces into a technologically advanced combat ready force. So what we will be doing? We will be doing basically the modernization of the armed forces, and we will be doing it by celebrating year 2025 as year of reforms, as Ministry of Defense has decided to bring out so many reforms. They will be bolstering jointness and integration initiatives, and they will be making sure that all the three armed forces are a collective force when they will be working as a single unit. They will be focusing on the new domains, on the new artificial intelligence and emerging technologies, that how we can integrate these technologies into the Indian armed forces and we can modernize the Indian armed forces. They will be working on understanding of operational requirements and joint operational capabilities. They will be working on acquisitioning procedures so that they can be made simpler and time sensitive, right? So collectively they will be positioning India as a credible exporter of the defense products. They will be fostering research and development into the defense sector of our country, and for that they have declared year 2025 as year of reform. So make sure that you should remember the year 2025 will be the year of reforms for Ministry of Defense. Moving to the next news article, guys. So Indian Navy is set to commission 3 frontline fleet assets, and this historic event is going to provide a significant boost to the combat potential of Indian Navy, as it will be commissioning these 3 frontline fleet assets, which includes Nilgiri, Surat and Wagshir. So these are the 3 frontline combatants which will be commissioned in Mumbai. And let me tell you guys a very important point about all these 3 frontline combatants, that they have been designed and constructed entirely at Mazagon Dock Shipbuilders Limited in Mumbai. So it basically shows the indigenous power of the Indian Navy, and as in Indian Navy we will be having these combatants which are being created in India only and created by India only. So please remember the names Nilgiri, Surat and Wagshir. ठीक है, तो ये तीनों ही मिलकर इंडियन नेवी को एक नया मुकाम देने वाली हैं, और इंडिया का जो फ्रंटलाइन कॉम्बेटेंट है उसके अंदर एक नई पावर डालने वाली है, राइट? सो गाइस, लेट्स मूव ऑन टू द नेक्स्ट न्यूज आर्टिकल, एंड दिस इज ऑन डॉक्टर K.S. Manilal, who has passed away recently. He was a Padma awardee and an eminent botanist. इनका पूरा नाम है डॉक्टर कतुंगल सुब्रमण्यन मनीलाल, ठीक है? So he was also the former head of the Department of Botany at the University of Calicut, but he is known for translating the ancient Latin text, that is Hortus Malabaricus, which is a 17th century botanical treatise which documented the rich flora and of the Malabar region. तो इन्होंने इसको इंग्लिश और मलयालम के अंदर ट्रांसलेट किया था, एंड दैट्स व्हाई ही वाज रियली रिनोन्ड पर्सन, and he passed away recently. So this is something that we should remember from exam point of view. And now guys, we are moving on to the last news article of the today's session, that is the National Sports Awards. So Government of India has recently announced National Sports Awards 2024. Every year the National Sports Awards are being recognized in order to recognize and reward excellence in the sports, the players who basically जो अपना खून पसीना बहाते हैं टू ब्रिंग मेडल्स, टू ब्रिंग द डिफरेंट ट्रॉफीज फॉर द कंट्री इन द फील्ड ऑफ स्पोर्ट्स, तो उनके हार्डवर्क को रिकॉग्नाइज करने के लिए द नेशनल स्पोर्ट्स अवार्ड्स आर बीन गिवन, right? And these awardees will be receiving their awards from the President of India on 17th of January 2025. So 17 January को उनको awards दिए जाएंगे, but before that let us try to cover the important names that we need to remember. So guys, यहाँ पर लिस्ट में सबसे पहला नाम है मेजर ध्यानचंद खेल रत्न अवार्ड, जो कि उन स्पोर्ट्स पर्संस को दिया जाता है जिनकी आउटस्टैंडिंग परफॉर्मेंस रही है उनकी अपनी स्पोर्ट्स फील्ड में इन द लास्ट 4 years, in the previous 4 years, right? And this year this has been given to 4 people. Shri Gukesh D, who is from the chess, then Shri Harmanpreet Singh from hockey, तो Harmanpreet Singh hockey, Gukesh D from chess, Praveen Kumar from para athletics and Manu Bhakar from shooting. So these people have been recognized for their outstanding performances in their respective sports disciplines with the Major Dhyan Chand Khel Ratna Award. After that we are having the Arjun Awards. So Arjun Awards guys, basically there are 2 kind of categories in the Arjun Awards, ठीक है? तो यहाँ पर 2 हैं, एक तो होता है अर्जुन अवार्ड फॉर आउटस्टैंडिंग परफॉर्मेंस इन द स्पोर्ट्स एंड गेम्स, जो कि दिया जाता है उन प्लेयर्स को जिन्होंने लास्ट के 4 इयर्स में एक ही बहुत ही अच्छे से परफॉर्म किया है, एंड दे हैव शोन क्वालिटी ऑफ लीडरशिप, स्पोर्ट्समैनशिप एंड अ सेंस ऑफ डिसिप्लिन. सो दिस ईयर टोटल 32 पीपल हैव बीन गिवन दैट अर्जुन अवार्ड. But this Arjuna Award lifetime is basically different award. ठीक है? This is basically for those people who have, even after their retirement from their active sporting career, they have still contributed for the promotion of the sports. And now this year, this award will be given to 2 people, which includes Shri Sucha Singh for athletics and Murlikant Rajaram Petkar for para swimming. ठीक है, आई बिलीव कि आप सभी ने इनका नाम सुना होगा. रिसेंटली एक मूवी आई थी गाइस, चंदू चैंपियन, वो इन्हीं के ऊपर थी. और एंड ही विल बी गिवन दिस ईयर अर्जुन अवार्ड लाइफ टाइम फॉर आउटस्टैंडिंग परफॉर्मेंस इन द स्पोर्ट्स एंड गेम्स 2024. आई होप दिस इज क्लियर टू ऑल ऑफ यू. नाउ लेट्स मूव ऑन टू द नेक्स्ट अवार्ड, दैट इज द द्रोणाचार्य अवार्ड. तो ऐसा हम जानते हैं, गुरु द्रोण इसे हमें याद आते हैं, तो गुरु द्रोण के नाम पे है द्रोणाचार्य अवार्ड, विच इज बीन गिवन टू द कोचेस फॉर देयर आउटस्टैंडिंग एंड मेरिटोरियस वर्क. एंड दिस ईयर this will be given in the regular category as well as a lifetime category. In the regular category, we are having Shri Subhash Rana for parachuting, Miss Dipali Deshpande for shooting, and Shri Sandeep Sangwan for hockey. So they will be given this award in the regular category. In the lifetime category, we are having Shri S. Mulidharan for badminton and Shri Armando Angelo Colaco of football. ठीक है, सो दीज आर द पीपल फॉर रेगुलर कैटेगरी एंड लाइफ टाइम कैटेगरी फॉर द द्रोणाचार्य अवार्ड. तो यहां से हमें इनका नाम याद रखना है और इनका डिसिप्लिन, दोनों ही चीजें याद रखनी है. ठीक है, इन द प्रीवियस अवार्ड्स एज वेल दैट वी हैव कवर्ड, वी हैव टू रिमेंबर द नेम of the player, name of the person, and the discipline in which they have been awarded, right? After that, we are having the Rashtriya Khel Protsahan Puraskar, and this is being given to Physical Education Foundation of India. After that, guys, the universities which performs really better and the best in the Khelo India University Games, they are being awarded the Maulana Abul Kalam Azad Trophy 2024. And this year, the overall winner university was Chandigarh University. The first runner-up was Lovely Professional University, and second runner-up was Guru Nanak Dev University. So all of these will be given the Maulana Abul Kalam Azad Trophy for 2024. So guys, with this, we are done with all the important national sports awards. Or इट माइट बी पॉसिबल दैट आई विल ट्राई माई बेस्ट कि हम इसको 17 जनवरी वाला जो करंट अफेयर होगा तब भी हम इसको रिवाइज करेंगे. बट अभी के लिए आई होप कि आप सभी इन नामों को याद रखेंगे. उस दिन हम आपका टेस्ट लेंगे कि वेदर यू आर एबल टू रिटेन ऑल दीज नेम्स और नॉट. Right? So guys, with this, we are done with all the important current affairs articles from 1st to 3rd of January. And now it's the time for practicing the MCQs. And here is the very first question on the working group for the base revision of wholesale price index. You are having 3 statements. You have to identify the statements which are correct. First statement, that the base year for current series of WPI will be revised from 2011-12 to 22-23. Absolutely right. Second statement, the working group is chaired by Professor Ramesh Chand, the member of Niti Aayog. Absolutely right. Third statement is the group will be having total 24 members and will finalize its reports within 18 months. We all know that there are 18 members to the group. That means the third statement is incorrect. Right answer is option A, that is only 1 and 2 is absolutely right. Moving to the second statement, second question, guys. So how many electric vehicles have been incentivized under the FAME 2 scheme? So as the recent data on January 2025, it is 16.15 lakh. That is option D is the right answer. Now the third question is the Ministry of Defense has declared which year as the year of reforms? Quite direct question is there. So such kind of question can also be asked, right? So that's why I have brought such kind of questions. कि question हमारा एक statement based question भी आ सकता है, और इससे पहले हमने कुछ multiple fill in the blanks questions को भी किया है previous sessions में, और कुछ ऐसे direct questions भी देखने को मिल सकते हैं. तो यहाँ पर आंसर रहेगा option C, that is 2025. So guys, if still you are not able to answer these questions, I am having a homework question for all of you, right? So homework question is this on the BankNet portal, and you have to identify the correct statement with respect to this BankNet portal. So make sure कीजिए कि आप मुझे इस क्वेश्चन का आंसर दें कमेंट सेक्शन के अंदर. इसके अलावा जो भी स्टूडेंट इस क्वेश्चन का सही आंसर देगा, दैट विल बी द स्टार परफॉर्मर ऑफ माय टुडेज सेशन. अगर हम बात करें स्टार परफॉर्मर हमारे प्रीवियस सेशन से, सो द question was basically on the Ministry of Defense recent contracts to enhance submarine capabilities, and I was quite shocked that so many people were giving the answer option D as the right answer. But guys, let me tell you that in the second statement it was mentioned that electronic heavyweight torpedo developed by Naval Group France was signed at a cost of this particular part. Yes, we all know that Naval Group France के साथ ये partnership हुआ है, and they have got the contract of 877 crore, but this torpedo has been developed by DRDO and not the Naval Group France. The contract has been signed with the Naval Group France. That's why the statement was incorrect. Right answer was option B. And the people who are the star performers includes Aditya Manyu, Nobita, Reshma, Soothing Relax Club, Aditya Srivastav, Salit Tripathi, Pradyot, and Soumya Brat. So all these people are the star performers, guys. Well done, as you have given me the right answer to the previous homework question and you are the star performers. And my dear friends, if you also want to be the star performer of my today's session, make sure that you are going to give me the right answer of the homework question in the comment section. And guys, if you're still new to our YouTube channel, kindly subscribe to it and press the bell icon to receive all the latest updates of the courses and videos offered by us. And in case you want to access the PDF of the session, please join our Telegram channel जिसका link आपको मिलेगा description के अंदर. So that was all from the today's session, guys. I believe कि today's session was really fruitful and useful to all of you. Make sure you will be giving me your answers in the comment section of this particular session. Now I will be meeting you in the next session. Till then, stay happy, stay healthy. Wish you all happy learning.